Hello, Annika. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you today? Happy Saturday. Hope you're having an amazing, amazing weekend. Oh, the room's filling up already, which is great. Let me just sort that out. So what has everyone been up to? It's been a super, 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 super busy week this week. So it's so nice to just chill, chat. We can talk about anything you want to, guys. We can ask any questions. Chris, hello. How are you? How's your Saturday going? How's everything? Come here with a cup of tea on the go, ready in my, you can see this, it apparently changes colour. It's red, changes colour to green when it gets cold. So you can see, you know, as the life goes on, my tea gets colder and colder. So how is everybody doing and what's new? Jenny, hello. Hello, my love. It is so cold here. It's snowing, it's freezing, I'm wrapped up, I've been outside in the snow. It's all good. It is all good. All good. So, has anyone got any questions? Anything they want to declare? Tom, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It feels so good to be back doing the old lives again. I missed them over Christmas. Like, everything got really hectic, but it's so good to just sit down and chill because it kind of means the weekend's here. We can all chill. I'm going to try my best to keep up with the questions, but you know how these things go. I'm always rubbish at that, but I'm going to do my best. So, I'm wonderful. Thank you, Chris. Been busy. Been out in the snow, had a good time. I've got a warm tea to warm me through because I was on a little bit late because I got in from the snow, jumped to the bath, warmed up, got a tea and jumped straight on. So hopefully I'll warm up as the live goes on. Zeke, how is it going? Wonderful, thank you. How are you? Hope everything is wonderful. If anyone has any questions, you know the rules. If anyone has any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get round to you. I do them in order and I try my best to keep up, but I'm so rubbish. If I miss your question or you have to duck out of the live before I get round to your question, just leave it in the comments below. And I'll definitely answer them. I'll log on tomorrow morning and answer all of them. And if you missed anything, it's repeated. Straight after this, it goes up live again, so you can watch it again. So let's see if we've got our first question. Georgiana, hello. Hello, Celia. Lovely to see you. Thank you. So, favourite hour of the week? I'm blessed. I do love sitting down and talking and chatting, and it's just quite nice because everything's in lockdown still here. That's about it. So it's quite nice to sit down and chat and just, you know, chill. So it's all good. We'll talk quickly about what we've got coming up this week. On the back of my skincare launch video, loads of people asked about niacinamide and hyaluronic acid and why I wasn't including them as ingredients in skincare line. And I said they're great ingredients, but you can overdo it. So I've got a video tomorrow on how much is too much when it comes to those sort of ingredients. So hopefully that'll help people navigate. The minefield is hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. We're launching, I've done the video already because Desim said I could. So done the video already, but we've got the launch of the Ordinary Concealers, which I'm super excited about on Tuesday because I'm going to grab a couple of new shades just because I actually do genuinely really like them. Watch out on Tuesday's video because I've got a new camera that's coming. I'm picking it up actually. It's one of those click and collect things. I'm picking it up tomorrow. So I'm going to be filming with a new camera, which either means it's going to be amazing and everything's going to look great, or it's going to be so bad because I have no idea what to do with it. So on Tuesday, you can read me to filth for loading a video which is so bad because I don't know what I'm doing with the camera. Or it might be amazing and it'll all be good. So the proof of the pudding will be happening on Tuesday. Diana, hello, my love. Tom says no face plants today. Tom, I a few days ago went with some young people. Hard. Everyone else, all the young kids, they're doing it with style, with grace. I think I'm in on this. Get on that sledge, straight down, straight in the snow. Not great. But today, no. Actually, no. I managed to style it out, so it's all good. But let's have a look. I can't even pronounce this name. Sorry. Irgayubi. I think I said that right. I might say it wrong. But anyway, hello. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. So we have got our first question. ZK says, what skin cleanser do you recommend for people with oily skin? I think one of the few benefits of having oily skin, I've suffered with oily skin all my life, and one of the few benefits to having oily skin is you can use pretty much whatever cleanser you want. So I would take the benefits of oily skin and just go with whichever cleanser you want. Obviously, something that's foaming is probably going to be beneficial because it'll take a little bit of that oil out with it. So anything that foams will be slightly drying and that'll dry up some of that oil, which is always a good thing. I love the Inculus Salicylic Acid Cleanser because you get a little bit of salicylic acid to unclog the pores as well as a nice foaming cleanser. I really loved, I did my video today on Korean skincare, I did the, I can't pronounce it, Pyongyang Yol Korean brand. That one was really good, and I've been using that on my chest where I do get a little bit of a breakout every now and then, and that's been really good. So that's a really good cleanser for oily skin as well. But I'd say it depends what your price point is. If you want to go for super, luxury, there's some great ones out there. If you want, with oily skin, if you want to keep it super cheap and spend your money on the rest of your skincare, go to the drugstore, pick up a basic foaming cleanser, and honestly that'll work really well for oily skin because it's the foaming and the surfactants that create the foaming that dry the skin out, and you want to dry some of that oil out. So one of the few benefits of having oily skin is you can pretty much use whatever cleanser you want. As long as it foams, you are good to go. So maybe just reach for something super affordable at the drugstore. The one I'm using, have I even got it on me? No, it must be in the bathroom, sorry, but I'm using the Sunscreen Saponins by Neod, which I love. I absolutely love that. And that's got a light foaming, so it's not too drying, and that works great on oily skin. But that's a little bit pricey, but worth it. So that's a long way of me saying, whatever cleanser you want, home, because if you've got oily skin, we are blessed in that sense. Emma says, hey, no snow in Surrey. Oh, my son is dying to see some. Oh, no, apparently, do not panic. Apparently, it's coming over from London to that way, so you will see some. Where my parents are in the north, it's been like 7 inches of snow all the time. It's been great. So much good. So I hope it works its way over for you. Tina, hello. Tina says, sooner everybody gets on the Scorbel tetroisopalmitate bandwagon from The Ordinary, the better. I love that product. It works so good on all skin types. It's not super drying like some vitamin C's. It's so good. I love that product. So Tina, I'm so glad you love it as much as me. Now I'm gonna have a quick sip of my tea while it's still piping hot. So if you haven't already, smash that like button. You know the drill, people. You know the drill. That is so much better than last. I tried some funky coffee last week and it was terrible. That is nice. That's a good Yorkshire tea. You don't mess with success. That's success. So, alright, let's have a look. Fuava says, hi Rob, hope you're having a great day. I am, my love. Thank you so much. Jenny says, I'm blaming you and Rob. I'm blaming you and Tom for getting me back into K-beauty. You can't blame me. Your skin won't be blaming me, Jenny. Your skin will love you. If the second you put that Purito Buffet serum on your skin, it will be thanking me, not blaming me. Trust me. I'm one of these people that, with K-beauty and just Korean skincare in general, I get trying so much. I've only scratched the surface of it. Whereas I pretty much know most of the main Western brands. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. With K-beauty, it's still all trial and error. So I get something I like the Purito Buffet serum. I'm like, I love this product. I love this product. And then I never end up using it because there's so many other things I'm trying. But there's some that I've started to come back to, and I love the Centella Isn't Treated, the calming Centella gel one, and I really like the Buffet serum by Purito. They're like my two core, always in my skincare routine, kind of Korean sunscreen, let me get my words out, Korean skincare items. I'm just going to rearrange that because I think it's slowly slipping upwards. Right, Celia says, just read that China will no longer be testing China are the main problem. Most companies have decided that animal testing isn't actually that effective. So just putting aside the ethical thing, actually doesn't prove much because there's not a whole lot of compatibility between animal skin and our own. It's kind of a bit pointless, and it was fine when there was nothing else to test on, but now testing has moved on so much more, so you can actually tell far more about a product without having to do the animal testing. So it's a bit of an old-fashioned way of doing it. But China mandate animal testing on all cosmetics and skincare products, which is why any company that sells into China can't class themselves as cruelty-free because their products will be tested on animals. So China's been the stumbling block. It used to be China and Brazil. Brazil realised actually what they were doing wasn't that effective anyway, so they dropped the requirement. So it's literally just China. They've said that this year they're looking to phase out that policy. I wasn't aware, Celia, that France is one of the first countries to be dropped, so that's really good. And they're looking to phase it out because as soon as French companies start being things like the Roche-Posay, so the Roche-Posay don't test on animals themselves, but they allow their products to be tested on animals so they can access the Chinese market. So as soon as that is done away with, things that opens us up to like La Roche-Posay, which are some of my favourite products like the Cicaplast Balm. So I'm thrilled to hear that, Celia. Thank you so much for calling that out. I knew it was happening. I didn't know, but it kind of makes sense. You know, that area of the world, French Indochina and stuff, there's a history behind it there. So I'm sure that that is why it's possibly starting with France rather than, some other countries. But look, anything that reduces animal testing is a good thing. So actually that's quite exciting. So thank you so much for sharing. Christy says, hi Rob, sending love from Southern California. Sending lots of love to California, where I'm sure it's warmer than it is here in the UK. Send some LA sun my way. I've loved the snow, but now I'm a little bit cold. So send some LA sun my way. Patty, hello my love. Happy Saturday. I hope you're feeling better and I hope life is all amazing with you. Yigas, hello. Thank you so much for joining. Diana said, I recently finished the Neod Repigment. However, it's sold out. Where can I use instead of the, what can I use instead with the Neod CAIS? This is really difficult, Diana, because I have never found a product like the Neod Repigment that actually just works that well. There are stuff that works similarly to it, but there's just so much going on in that product, which is why I think it works so well. What's annoying about Decium is it's sold out where you are, and yeah, I can buy it here. I mean, I ordered one yesterday. So it's sold out in some parts of the country. I understand they've got different warehouses and different... No, it's not. I've just bought one and they think actually it might be somewhere else. So that is a bit frustrating. What I would do in the meantime, because with Decium, you're never quite sure when it's going to come back in stock. What I would do in the meantime is to get hold of a tranexamic acid, because the main reason that works so effectively is because it's got that multi-pathway. So if you've already got an exfoliator in your life, and a vitamin C actually is a really, that's a really good strength vitamin C you're using. So you've got that. Add in a tranexamic acid. So my favorite is the Inculus because it's quite cheap, it's affordable, and it's a good strength tranexamic acid. Then that will kind of keep you, like, tide you over. It isn't as good as the Repigment, not in a million years, but it'll tide you over until you can get your hands on it again, and it'll certainly help. You won't find it as powerful, but it will certainly help prevent any of the pigment that you've corrected coming back, and it will help around the margins to further diminish it. So that's my recommendation. Get a tranexamic acid and add it into your existing routine, because you've already got a good routine, especially with the Neod vitamin C that's a good strength. So add tranexamic acid in and it'll work great. I love the the Inculist one because you use it overnight, so it's in contact with the skin a bit more. I just find it works easily. But great question. Chris says, fingers crossed it snows even more this week. Chris, don't tempt it. I love snow. I'm in two minds. When I'm out there, I'm loving it. And then when I'm in bed at night, I'm like, I'm so cold. I'm so cold. So I'm in like two minds. So first of all, I'm just gonna have a quick sip. So if you haven't already, guys, press that like button. You know the drill. Thumbs up. It helps the video when YouTube push it out or something tomorrow. I don't know how it works. So we had a little bit of a manic week. We had a bit of drama yesterday, but we've got positive vibes today. We're talking about niacinamide and how much is too much and how that kind of works tomorrow. We've got dates for the diary, obviously on the 29th. So a little bit of I'll give you a little bit of drama, or a little bit of what to expect is on the 29th, the Korean Institute of Dermatological Sciences is releasing their next load of testing on Korean sunscreen. So put the 29th in your diary because I'll be bringing a video on that day with the results, which I don't know yet. When they become clear, I'll let you know. Rumour has it, though one has been confirmed. So they're testing one like world famous Korean sunscreen, they're testing a Japanese sunscreen, and they're testing a Korean sunscreen that's more popular in the Korean market than it is globally. So we might not have heard of that one, we might have, it depends which one they choose. It's been confirmed that the Japanese sunscreen will be Biore. So that's a firm favourite of a lot of people on this channel, and people have reached for, so that's good. I suspect, though I don't know, that I'd rather have... Oh, sorry, I think I disconnected or something there. Sorry about that. So yeah, so the Biore has had a test in the past done on it, and it came out of 46. Now, that's not the 50 that it claims to be, but there's always a margin of error that you're allowed within this, so that's nothing too dramatic. So I think that one will probably be okay. I have heard, though it's not confirmed, we shouldn't get our hopes up because we don't know for sure, but that the Korean sunscreen, the world famous Korean sunscreen, will be the Keep Cool and Soothe Bamboo Essence, which, you know what, let's see what that comes out of. It better be what they say, otherwise people will be coming for them and coming from them hard. But that's what we don't know is what the other one is going to be. It could be Make Prem is a huge brand in Korea, and is not as big globally, so it could be their defense fluid, which would be good to see because, you know, I love that product. It could be the Mermaid. No, that's Japanese, but it won't be. We'll see, but that's the date for the diary. Anyway, Teresa says, hello Rob, happy Saturday. Hello Teresa, sending lots of love to Tennessee. I've just paused your Korean skincare video. Any skincare life resolutions for 2021? Well, I got lots of resolutions. I make hundreds. I don't really keep many of them. But somebody once said to me, you shouldn't make resolutions, you should make things that you're grateful for. So like make a list of all the things that you're grateful for and carry them on for the year. So I've done some resolutions, and I've got some resolutions in the background. But what I'm actually going to do is think about the things that I started doing in 2020 and that were good, and to kind of carry them forward and actually focus on them. So I'm definitely going to be more religious with my facial massage. I preach it. Do I always do it? Not always. So I'm going to be much more on the facial massage front. Drinking more water. I know it's easy. I know everyone says it. I know we always fail, but I'm trying to keep more liquid going because you know what? It does show in the skin. You do it for like 2 weeks, you'll notice the difference. So I'm trying on that. Well, I've gone completely cruelty-free this year, so in my skincare and on the channel, so that's one, but I kind of did that in 2020 and it's just continuing that, but that's been really good and I've discovered so many great brands from doing that, so I was kind of glad I did, because of the ethics behind it, but actually more because it's just opened me up some really great indie brands. And I've decided that I want to pick some really good brands that I want to build deeper relationships with. So those that I really like. A really good example is Decium. So I've worked with them and I do really enjoy them. I love their products. And they reached out to me about the concealers and said, do you want to try them before the launch? And I think there's real value in the channel bringing things before the launch so that you guys kind of get a first look at it and work out whether you want to buy it on the launch. Relationships with some core resolutions, and also to use up product. So I never ever get to the bottom. Well, occasionally I get to the bottom of some products, but it's so rare. I have to really love them to get to the bottom of it. And I want to do that more because I don't think I always give products enough time to see the results. So that would be another one. Let's have a look. Jules says, love from SA. Sending lots of love to South Africa, my love. Devi says, hello, Rob. Happy to see you again. It is lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining. And thanks to everyone, whether you've been, I've seen regular names. We have our regular live contingent, which is fantastic to see you all. And if you're joining for the first time, welcome. Same time every week, 6 p.m. UK time on a Saturday, and we sit down, we chat, bring a question. You don't have to have a question. You can join and just be a passive observer. You can comment, you can do whatever you want, and never be afraid to comment to other people's comments, because you know this is like a community, and I see you a lot chatting in the comments, which is great because I'm rattling on about something and you lot are having your own conversation, which is great. Keep the conversation going. So never be afraid to comment on other people's comments. Sophia says, hi Rob, thoughts on Kiehl's eye cream? I got it as a sample. So I love the idea of Kiehl's. I've never used them because I find their packaging, I struggle with packaging that, actually this is, yeah, I struggle with packaging that all looks the same, which I know you're going to read me for because I like The Ordinary and that's all the same. But I think Kiehl's just, there's a lot of words and I can never really tell what I want to try. I find their product line a little bit confusing. Their eye creams are actually some of the better eye creams out there on the market. They actually have some added benefit to them rather than just being a moisturiser with a higher price tag. I haven't tried their specific one you're referring to, but I do think that they've got some of the better eye creams. As a brand, they're certainly not a bad brand, and I know a lot of people do like them. So I'd be really interested to know if anyone's tried Kiehl's products. What do you think of them? Have you tried the eye cream? Because I haven't personally. There is only one eye cream in my life, and there's two. That's the Caffeine Solution by The Ordinary and Neod's Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate. They're the only ones for me, but I'd love to know what you guys think. So leave me a comment below if you've tried any of the Kiehl's ones. Tom says, haha, Jenny, I tried to be good and use up my stock before buying the Purity Zero. This is the problem. This is my New Year's resolution, Tom. I'm going to use up more product. I'm trying to be really good at gifting stuff away. So things that I just didn't work for me, or I know I've tried so I can have a demo, but I'm not going to use, I try to give away because I hate waste. So I'm looking, to give things away. And so hopefully, more of that to non-greasy SPF for oily skin. I need loads, but at 12 p.m. I look like a cheap chip pan. Same here, girl. The amount of grease on this face by lunchtime is right. I've got my favourite here. Honestly, moisturiser wise, he says rummaging. Here we go. Moisturiser wise, this is my Blythe Press serum. I know you're all going to read me to filth for saying I recommend the same thing time and time again, but I think if you really like something, and I don't want to be constantly recommending new things, because if something's really good, kind of just stick with it. This is so good. You'll love this on an evening. You can use it during the day, you can use it on an evening. It layers really well. So one layer is good for me 90% of the time. Sometimes when I put it on 5 minutes later, I still feel a little dry. Put another layer on. It's called a serum, but it's actually a moisturizer, and it just hydrates you to the gods. It's a Korean brand called Blythe. I did in my Korean video today, there's a link to the whole Blythe page, so use that and just find this. This is the one with Crystal Ice Plant, which is my favourite because it's cooling, but they do another one that's quite fresh smelling. So good, and this is the moisturiser I'd recommend. In terms of the SPF, depends what you want to go for. I love the Make Prem UV Defense Fluid, which is that one up there, which is very matte. It goes on and it is like matte, which is what I find to be really beneficial, particularly on like the T-zone. So I'd probably recommend that one. We're waiting for the testing results to come on that. I've never had a problem with it. I think it's pretty good, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, the Inculus sunscreen is very mattifying, so I think it's almost on the drying side. So if you want something that is going to leave you very matte and stop that greasiness, I find the Inculus one to be quite good. It's got a very light tint, which is fine for me because it just gets away from the white cast, but it's personal preference on that. But I'd say those two would be my recommendation. Go mineral, because I think mineral is more mattifying and seems to absorb some of the grease better on my skin. So I'd recommend a mineral over a chemical sunscreen, but again, that's personal preference. Celia said, can you leave a link to your ongoing charity so you donate without buying a product? That's a really good, I saw that comment actually, Celia. Thank you so much for raising that. So at the moment, we try and always like mix it up in terms of the charities. So all of the, and I do need to post it on Instagram actually. Someone remind me to do that tomorrow. I'll watch this video back and remind myself to do it. So we donate all the money on the chat from affiliate links, which is when you click on any of the links in the description bar. The channel gets a commission. It's between like 5 and 15% usually of the total sale price. Hits the bank. It is delayed, so I get it like 2 months after you bought the product, which is why there always seems to be a lag between that and the donation. That works with people over the Christmas period in particular, the year round, that might be lonely, isolated, and vulnerable. And we raised £7,000, which is like mind-blowing, like a mind-blowing amount. People are going to be so grateful for receiving that. I know the charity are going to be so grateful for that. Previous to that, we worked with Refuge, which is a woman's domestic violence charity, and we're rolling that over to this. So that donation's been given, and the Samaritan ones, I'm waiting for the money to come in before I can actually do it. But will be given. And now for January and February, we're working with Refuge, which is a charity based here in the UK. I'd love to do more like international charities, but they're really hard. Actually, it is really hard to make it work. But Refuge are a great charity which buy toiletry packs for women who are fleeing domestic violence. So I guess the premise behind it is you flee your home to go to one of their shelters and you leave everything behind. You know, you don't pack a whole suitcase before you flee traditionally, and so you end up there with nothing. And it's to provide like hygiene packs, and they wanted to take it to the next level. So their basic hygiene packs included things like feminine hygiene products and like soap and a toothbrush. That's what you will get, and that was their basic pack, like enough for like life. But they were saying actually they wanted to take it the next step further, and we're asking for donations to support people, you know, putting a moisturizer in there, putting in, you know, a little bit of a concealer or something, you know, all things that seem like trivial, and actually, do you really need them? No. But if you're in a really bad situation and you have literally nothing, then what's the harm in something that's going to make you feel fractionally better about yourself? Like just that margin might make a huge difference to people. And so they're a fantastic charity, and I think it links well with what we're doing on this channel. You know, we're celebrating skincare and, you know, feeling good about ourselves and using skincare as a way to feel great about ourselves, and I think everyone should be entitled to that, even just in a small way. So yeah, all the money that goes from the links are going to, the cut-off was before for Samaritans, and now it's going to Refuge, which is a domestic violence charity. So I will leave a link actually at the bottom of all the videos I do, in case people don't want to buy a product but do just want to make a token contribution to the charity. It's a really great comment, really great thought, Celia, because I know not everybody wants to splurge on a product but wants to support a charity. I'm going to look for some international charities, like as in from different countries, so I don't want them all to be UK based. The reason at the moment they're all UK based is because I know them, and I think it's good to know a charity and know what they're adding before you commit to them. But I've been investigating some ones in the US and some over in Canada and Australia, and we're going to mix it up a little bit. But I just think, you know what, people like links because it makes it easier for them to buy a product that they like the idea of. And for joining. Annika says, do you think it's better to use just tretinoin on its own without any other actives and only add other actives with over-the-counter retinol? That's a really good. On the actual evenings you're using high strength tretinoin, I would only use that product, you know, cleanse, moisturize, and then in between use your tretinoin. For the other nights, because I tend to do mine every other night, I would use an over-the-counter retinol, and I would definitely use my actives on that. In the morning, I use my actives as normal because it's fine. I would say on that specific routine that you're including the tret, I would probably think it's beneficial to minimize the amount of actives. Some actives more so exfoliators of firm pass. I'd avoid vitamin C's, things that could aggravate the skin. Some things, like if you want to put a toner on, you know, if you've got a nice hydrating toner, like the Geek and Gorgeous liquid hydration that I love, you can still use that alongside your tretinoin. It's probably beneficial because it'll offset some of the dryness. So I'd say your actives, yes. Some of the products that don't have active ingredients in like a calming or soothing toner, absolutely you can use it in the same routine. I hope that makes sense. Elsie says hello from Seattle, sending lots and lots of love to Seattle. Jenny says, can I use the ordinary ascorbyl glucoside and Purito unscented serum together? Yes. Derivatives and peptides, like match made in heaven. It's only pure form. The words that you need to look out for is just like a note is ascorbic acid, L-ascorbic acid, and ethylated ascorbic acid. So if it says ascorbic acid anywhere in it, you can't put it with your peptides. It'll just mean that the peptides are denatured, and so they won't be working as effectively. You might get some benefit, but you won't get full benefit. But yes, absolutely, I would recommend, Jenny, if you use one of the derivatives from the ordinary, you can use it with your peptides, no problem, they go really well together. So it's kind of a way of cheating it. But be careful, because the ordinary website does say no vitamin C's with peptides. That just kind of covers themselves to stop them having to explain the minutiae. But actually, I can explain it to you, and you're fine to use those with it. Teresa said, any thoughts on the Juice Beauty brand? I have lots of thoughts on Juice Beauty. I like the idea. I like the packaging. I've not been overwhelmed by the products. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my tea before my throat actually gives up. I've not been overwhelmed with the Juice Beauty products. I don't think they're bad, but I just think sometimes I've been able to get basically the same product slightly cheaper elsewhere. That's not to say you shouldn't buy the brand and they're not good products. I just think there's cheaper alternatives to them. So I'm not sold. I'd love to know, Teresa, have you tried them? Would you recommend them? I should get hold of them and actually try them, because I always think we're looking at the ingredients list will tell you so much, but actually hi, I really love your videos. Watching from Bangladesh. Sending lots and lots of love for Bangladesh. And it must be very late in Bangladesh, because I think like 5 hours ahead of us probably here. So it's probably like 11ish. So hope you're having a wonderful evening over in Bangladesh. Chris says, what do you think of the Muji Moisturizing Milk Toner? I love Muji. I love Muji. I don't use their milk toner because I don't feel I need it. So my skin is very, very oily, and I don't need any extra hydration. I could. It doesn't break me out or anything. I just don't feel like I'd be wasting my money if I kept buying it, because my skin doesn't need it. But it's very calming, very hydrating, nice and soothing. I like it. I think milky toners are best for people who have oily combination skin, because they're not as hydrating as some toners, but equally they're not going to clog your pores as well. So it's a nice halfway house. They're not going to have like salicylic acid in to combat acne, but they're not going to leave you super hydrated. So it's a nice way. So yeah, I like a good milky toner, and that's a really good one. Don't buy the Pixie Milky Toner. That's the really bad one. So that's just a side note. Not all milky toners are good. Right. N566 says, what acid would deeply exfoliate the skin? Something under £10, and other than the ordinary glycolic acid, because that's always out of stock. That is always out of stock. Really deeply exfoliate, I would probably go for Revolution Beauty. Do a really nice glycolic acid like toner. That'll give a good exfoliation. I think it's about £6, so it's ordinary kind of price point. So Revolution Beauty is a really great place to shop for one of theirs. You could just buy the peeling solution, buy the ordinary, which isn't always out of stock, and use that once a week, and that will give a really deep exfoliation. And you probably don't need to do anything daily if you're using that. That'll still give a really good exfoliation. So those would be my top 2 tips. Lindy says, hello my love. Alicia says, hi Rob, have you heard of the brand Typology? I have. Love them. They're well priced, and they have a massive range of products with some botanicals and some more sciencey like ordinary, but they're really cool and bougie. I love Typology. They look bougie, they look nice on the vanity, they have some great products. My only criticism of them, is I think they're suffering with what I call the Paula's Choice syndrome. A little bit too much choice, and some of the products are very similar to other products. I'm like, if your product is basically the same thing, switching around one ingredient, do you really need it? Is it just a bit too confusing for the consumer? So I'd say if you're willing to sit down and go through everything, work out what you actually need from Typology, really great, really affordable, good formulations. I just think maybe they could streamline their selection a little bit. Maybe get rid of 25. Love the brands, I'd recommend that. Mrs. Tracy Vay says, hi Rob, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Mal. Sending lots and lots of love. I've noticed quite a few YouTubers are now doing these lives, and I started watching, since I've started doing my own, I started watching their lives, and they're actually, watching it from the other side is actually quite good. I see that they actually keep up with their comments, unlike me, but hey ho. Krillian says, good morning. Oh, Ron, you must be behind us then, because it's very much dark and night here. I truly value your opinion, so I was wondering what your Korean ingredient do you consider best for adult acne, and congrats on your skincare line. Thank you so much, sending lots and lots of love. From a Korean ingredient for acne, I think looking for something like willowbark. So they tend to use, we use salicylic acid in the West, they tend to go for a willowbark extract, which is a precursor and a more gentle precursor to salicylic acid. I'd recommend that because It's going to be more gentle, but over time you'll get the same results. They'll also probably combine it with Centella asiatica, which calms redness in the skin. So if you have acne that's red in nature, the Centella asiatica will help, and the willowback extract will help flush out the pores and do a light exfoliation just to prevent, you know, the clogging of the pores. So I'd look out for the willowback extract. I'd also look out for that in combination with Centella asiatica, like a beautiful combination. I love that in Korean skincare. If you check the video I did in the Korean skincare video I did today, well, that cleanser, the second cleanser I mentioned in that video, had both of those in and was so good for acne. So good. Safe Chowdhury said, went to the dermatologist for the first time and the derm said she thinks I might have mild rosacea, as if acne wasn't bad enough. I know, I hear you, love, I hear. I've heard rosacea and dermatitis is worse than acne. Difficult. I think it's harder. It's more very, acne is acne. It's not. There's different types of acne, but broadly people kind of understand acne. Rosacea, no one really knows what causes it. So I think it can be difficult to treat in that sense because no one really knows what causes it. In a way that acne, you can say, oh, you've got hormonal acne, go on a birth control pill or take this tablet to sort that out. If you've got like cystic acne or it's because your pores are clogged, there's things you can do because you know what's causing it. With rosacea, you really don't know what's causing it. So hopefully your dermatologist has gone through a plan with you, maybe look through a food diet, because a lot of it can be food triggered, to work out what you need to cut out, and giving you a skincare routine to tackle that. Things like azelaic acid can really help. My mum suffers with rosacea, so I know the challenges around it, though I don't have it myself. Hers very much triggered by food, very much supported by azelaic acid. So her two things was cut out spices. Rosacea is harder to treat because people don't really know what causes it, and that does always make things harder to treat. But I hear you, when at least you've been to a dermatologist and you've got your diagnosis, because a lot of people suspect they have something and don't actually have concrete evidence. At least the first stage is knowing you've got something, so hopefully, you know, you'll be able to treat that. But thank you very much for sharing. Hey there, I love your YouTube channel. I'm super excited for your new skincare line. Thank you so much. When will you be launching roughly? Will your line be drugstore pricing or luxury pricing? Great. A lot of people call me out in that video when I talked about the new skincare line. I said didn't mention pricing. It's not because I'm trying to hide anything. I'm not going to be, you know, JLo Beauty. We've seen the whole JLo Beauty launch where she was like, you know, I'm still Jenny from the block. I couldn't afford shoes when I was younger, and I certainly couldn't afford skincare. And now I've created an affordable skincare line, and here in the UK, one of her serums is like £110. Girl, no. So, not that affordable, genuine affordable. For me, affordable is, I'd say, anything under £20, $25. All of the products will be under that. Some of them significantly under that. So, like, for example, the cleanser is probably going to be around the £7 to £8, $12 mark, which I think is about average for a cleanser. It's not like the cheapest, but it's certainly not the most expensive. And some of the serums are going to be a little bit higher, and the moisturizer is going to be a little bit cheaper, but it'll be all in the ballpark of drugstore. I'd certainly feel confident with the pricing being on the drugstore shelf and people not be like, are you kidding me? It's definitely on the lower end. We've got to finalize everything, but because one of the benefits of doing this is obviously when you start small, you don't have the economies of scale, so things are naturally more expensive than a big brand like L'Oreal where everything's much cheaper. But I'm doing this as like a labour of love and because it's a life dream and because I want to do it. I'm not in it to make money. You know, I want to break even and maybe make a bit of profit, but it's not about making a load of money. So the margins can be a little smaller. So I can play with the margins to make sure it's kept affordable. Most cosmetics we buy have a margin around 40%, which means 40% of it goes into the company's pocket rather than going to making the product. I'm looking at a margin of about 10 to 15%, which allows for things like advertising and, you know, that comes out of that element. So it'll be drugstore. But it won't be the cheapest out there because I don't have the economies of scale to make it like the ordinary pricing. But similarly, it's not going to be, don't worry, I'm not going to do a JLo on you and say, oh, it's all affordable and here it is, £100 moisturiser, yay. So don't worry, but that's a really great question. Roughly going to launch in June or July. We've got to finalise the final bits. A lot of it comes down to the regulatory sign off in the various countries. So that just slows it down. And I want to go all in at one go. So if Canada takes a bit longer, if you haven't already, if you can smash that like button, I'm going to have a sip of my tea. You see it gets cold. Like when it goes green, it gets cold. So if you drink my tea while it's still hot. So if you haven't, smash that like button as it really helps the channel. I noticed it's amazing. These lives get busier and busier every single day. I mean, I remember when we first started, we used to get like 30 people on it, which I was amazed by. I was overwhelmed and I loved it. Now it's getting over 100 at any given point and it fluctuates with people dipping in and out. So thank you all for being a part of this. It's so amazing. Charlotte says, what's your favourite skincare brand of all time? Ooh, can I have four? Can I have four? In no particular order, my favourite brands, Nerd, The Ordinary, Face Theory, and The Inky List. in no particular order. Neod is my absolute favourite, but it's more expensive, and so I like to recommend in moderation because I don't want everyone to feel like they have to spend £40 on a serum to get the benefit. The Ordinary is like my drugstore favourite, so they're all a little bit different. The Inculist, because it's British and I do like to support a good British brand, and the formulation is great, and the succinic acid acne treatment, life-changing. Yeah, so I'd probably say those are Face Theory because they're like the ultimate in like multi-purpose, multi-active. So pick any one of those four, and if you shopped at any one of those four, you'd have a great skincare routine. So amazing. Should you use vitamin C twice a day? My concern is hyperpigmentation. No, only ever use it once a day. I think you can overuse things. I know the temptation is you want to tackle something quickly. Using it twice as often will make it quicker. It won't. It might actually cause irritation, which could lead to hyperpigmentation. So always just once a day with vitamin C is more than enough. Jessica says, have you tried the Neon Flavonone Mud? Is it worth the money for congested pores and oily skin? I love the Flavonone Mud Mask by Neod. I can't actually tell you how much I love that product. You have to get over the colour because the colour of it is grim. It's like this like orangey, murky, grim colour. Oh, it's so good. So you put it on the skin. It's really weird. You put it on the skin and you feel nothing. You feel like you're just wearing a mud mask, but it doesn't dry down like clay masks do. You know, when you almost feel like your skin could crack. It doesn't do that. It just sits on the skin. And you think, what's the point of this? And it dries a little bit over time. 15 minutes later, you think, I'm ready to wash it off. I don't think that's done anything because it's just sat on my skin. I'm not feeling anything, whatever. You wash it off and you start to feel like a little bit of a tingle. You think, oh, that feels a bit weird. And then you wash it off, you pat your skin dry, you go to make your dinner. And all of a sudden, about 5 minutes later, your skin is like tingle, like someone's rubbing a derma roller over your face. You think, it has precursors, so it triggers your body to producing its own natural exfoliating elements, and it really works. And you trust me, you put that Flavonone Mud Mask on, and about 15 minutes after you've taken it off, your skin will be tingling, and you just know it's going to work. I'd say it takes 3 applications to notice a difference. And it's quite nice. It gives a lovely evenness to skin. It helps even out some of the oil production in the skin, and it's a really good mask. I would say go lighter rather than thicker with it. People want to put a thick, you feel like you almost want to cut it. It should be translucent. You should be able to see skin through it. It should be a thin mask, not one of those thick masks that you put on. Because you want to save the product. You don't want to be, and thin is more than enough. Honestly, it'll get great results. I think you'd love it, and I would fully recommend it. It's one of those few masks. There's no relaxing about it. You know how sometimes you put a sheet mask on because you want that relax? You don't get that with this. This is a, full strength mask, but the results, the treatment, the results, so good. So I definitely recommend it. Alana says, hi Rob, hello my love. So Chris says, super excited to see your launch of the skincare hunt. I know it's going to be amazing. I hope it is. I've done everything that matters to me. It's not going to be for everyone. I don't want people to feel like it's one of those like you have to have it. Your skin won't be complete. I want it to be used alongside other things. So if someone wants to pick up the serum, for example, because they love the idea of the serum, but they don't want to ditch their Azure serum by The Ordinary, or they want to keep their Paula's Choice BHA exfoliator, it's great. It's designed to be used in amongst. There's nothing worse than when you see a go to bed with me by a celebrity, a skincare celebrity, and it's like, oh, use this, this, and this, and like, it's all your own products, love. Like Rihanna. Reading Rihanna for that, and Kylie Skin. I want it to be used. You should mix and match. I don't think you should ever be afraid to mix and match your products. And the skincare line is fully compatible with all other products. So mix and match with the stuff you already love would be my suggestion. Purple Zebra says, which product do you recommend for spot treatment? Those pesky little blemishes are killing me right now. I holy grail love the succinic acid blemish treatment by the Inculist. It is so good. It doesn't dry. And so it won't dry out the zit and make it harder to heal, but it gets rid of that zit. Overnight, the zit shrinks. It's so good. It smells of sulfur, which is a rotten egg smell. So you've got to be careful. If the zit is here, you probably don't want to use it because the smell is a bit pungent. But it's so good. It cancels out the redness. It tackles the inflammation. It calms. It is such a good product. And it's like £5 or something in the UK. It is so affordable. I would honestly grab that. Ren do a non-drying spot treatment, which is also really good, but it's more expensive. So I would honestly just reach for twice a week, put it on as a thin layer on as a mask, sleep in it. Next day, your skin is gorgeous, glowing to the gods, and feeling so clear. Definitely recommend it. Now, let's have a look. Hope Bradley says, I'm looking for a beginner retinol, oily skin, not sensitive. I'm going around in circles trying to find one. Budget option. Prefer more of a liquid than a cream. You'll struggle to find a liquid because retinols don't really hold well in the suspense of liquid. Cream is probably going to be more likely, but a really good beginner retinol, I honestly cannot recommend enough is, I've got 3. I'll give you 3 so you can check, all of them might not be in stock. The Inculist Retinol, stunning. Really good strength, great for beginners, won't dry you out, won't irritate you. It'll help mattify the skin as well if you're a little bit oily. The Indeed Labs Retinol Reface, Indeed Labs, fantastic, so affordable and really good, so really good strength. And I would also recommend the Paula's Choice not BHA, Paula's Choice Retinol 0.3% plus bakuchiol. That's the strongest of the three, but you shouldn't get too much irritation. It's the most expensive as well, but it's really good for oily skin. Those three would be my holy grail. Get yourself the Incubist if you can, because honestly, it's so cheap, it works so well, and your skin will love it. It won't dry you out, it won't cause any irritation, and it'll just help keep everything matte. I find it's one of the best ones for oily skin. If you can't get that Indeed Labs, great. Let's have a look. It's that's Booty Prophet. Love that name. Have to stay away from certain products to keep my eczema at bay. I think you should always be cautious. I think lots of people will follow blindly what like an influencer or they see online and like, I love that product, I've got to have it. You've still got to make sure it's compatible for your skin and listen to what the person's saying, because if they're good at their job, they should be saying this is great for people with oily skin. This is great for people with sensitive skin. You know, you should be, rather than just saying, oh my God, everyone has to have CeraVe or everyone has to have face theory. You know, we've got to go into a little bit more detail. Always make sure it matches your skin. Lever says, hi Rob, can I use peptides with BHA? I love your videos. You can. I would definitely leave like 3 minutes after applying it before putting the peptides on. Let the skin balance out again. If you've got other products to use in between, like hyaluronic acid or whatever, put them on in between and that'll just even everything out and make sure that the peptides aren't in too acidic an environment. But yes, you can absolutely use them together. Chloe says, hey babe, I love you so much. I've got really combo skin, but it's acne prone, big pores, blackheads. How should I remove dirt and blackheads without drying my skin or making it really oily? First of all, thank you, my love. Thank you for joining. I think that's a really great idea. What I would do is get a cleanser and get a muslin cloth. So Face Theory do the ones that I use, but you can get them almost anywhere. Basically, put your finger in the muslin cloth and then just roll it over the areas where you have that dirt and debris, and it'll just give a little bit more depth to your exfoliation without drying, stripping, or making the skin more irritated and oily. That will be my top tip. Whatever cleanser you're using, it can be gel, it can be cream, whatever. Just put your finger in the muslin cloth and just gently roll it. Don't be too rough, don't push, particularly around here, you know, on the nose where you're likely to be oily, and it'll help so much. Chelsea Flax said, thoughts on oil-soluble vitamin C derivatives? It's where it's at. You know, oil soluble, great. Hydrates and offsets some of the dryness from vitamin C. Definitely where it's at. Always go for an oil soluble vitamin C derivative, like the ascorbyl glucosides by The Ordinary or the ascorbyl tetraisobamate. All good, but yeah, definitely try them. Alan says, what kind of tea? This. Firmly on the Yorkshire tea. I'm a Yorkshire boy. Yorkshire tea is the best. I won't hear anyone say anything different. And I can't do dairy. I've always been allergic to dairy. So I have it with almond milk, which everyone says is really horrible, but I really like it. Maybe it's just what I'm used to. But yeah, it's all good. It is getting nearly clap cold, but it's still good. Now, if you haven't already, if you can smash that like button, because we'd like to get up to, if we can get to 100 likes, that'd be amazing. Play your part. Click that like button. Now, let's see if we've got, I haven't even checked with how far behind I am. Oh, wow, I'm behind. Never mind. We'll keep going. Does the oat cleansing balm break you out if you use it by yourself, no second cleanse? I don't find it does. Most of the oils in there are compatible with oily skin, so I don't find it does. It leaves a very small film, which if you're using like a toner afterwards, I'll get it off anyway, so it's not a problem. And that film will be hydrating, so I personally don't find it to be a problem. It's personal preference whether you want to use a second cleanse or not, but I wouldn't feel like you had to because it's going to break you out. Maria says, I'm trying to start and keep it simple on one brand. What to start with? Can't decide between the Incubist or the Ordinary. I have sensitive to normal skin. I would personally go for the Incubist if you have sensitive skin. I think their formulations are slightly more forgiving to the sensitive skinned. I think you'll find it easier to piece together a sensitive skincare routine from the Incubist. The Ordinary are fine, but I don't think they always highlight which products are best for sensitive skin or not. So I would personally go for the Incubist and your skin will love you. But on Instagram at SkinMad, or you can, there's an email address at the bottom of all of my description boxes. You can always ping me an email or a DM if you want some help or advice on any products, and I'll get around to you. Hilda says, hi Rob, I love you and your knowledge and guidance. Thank you, Hilda. Thank you so much for joining, and thanks for joining the live. It's so lovely to have you here, and everybody that's here is a first timer. Thank you. One of our regular viewers, you know the drill. Thank you so much for joining. I love doing these. Just sitting down and chat. I could do this for like 3 hours. I'm thinking of doing like a bit of a doing a live with a purpose. So we're gonna actually have like a title like let's discuss sunscreen, or let's talk cleansers or something, like doing like a midweek surprise one or something. So if you see that pop up, that's what that is, because I maybe a bit more keep the Saturday ones to totally like generic, come chat, chill, have a cup of tea, and keep the other ones to like maybe something that's more specific, and we'll pick a topic a week. That's just a thought. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Let's have a look. Rachel says, I was going to finally get the NIOD Survival. Yes, but after reviewing the ingredients, there's pine tree extract, so it's a no-go. Can you suggest a dupe? So the pine tree extract is the pycnogenol. So pycnogenol is an antioxidant that's derived from French pine. So I do understand that. I would actually, if you can't do pine and you've got an allergy to it or you can't tolerate it, what I would reach for is go for the resveratrol plus ferulic acid by The Ordinary, which I would say is not quite there, but very close, and the closest thing you can get in terms of multi-action antioxidant. That'll work really well for you, so would be my recommendation. Jenny says, hi, I love your content. Thank you, my love. I learned a lot by watching your videos. My skin feels dry after applying retinol. Usually I apply CeraVe, but it's not enough. What moisturizer would you recommend? I'd recommend putting on a facial oil after your retinol and then topping it off with your moisturizer. You can continue to use CeraVe if you like it. Put on my facial oil. Where have I got it? I've got it in here somewhere. Here, this is Baja Basics. These are a really great company out of the States. Love them. They're a Texan brand. So good. They're so nice, the people. And they sent me loads of stuff to try, and they're so lovely. And this smells divine. This is the rosehip seed oil, 100% pure virgin cold pressed rosehip seed oil. Put this on, then put my moisturizer on top, and it'll just give it a layer, like lock in all the hydration and just really help. And it kind of means you don't have to, that's like £4, or you don't have to then buy another like extra bougie or expensive moisturizer. But that's a great question. How should I stop using tretinoin after my dark spots are gone? I'm 16, so I don't have concerns about aging. Also, thanks for recommending the Oat Cleansing Balm. It's amazing. First of all, great. I love the Oat Cleansing Balm. I'm so glad you guys do. I would keep using it. If your dark spots are gone, it's clearly working. Don't use it as frequently. I don't think you need to use it every night if you're not treating something. But I think it's really good to keep it in your routine. If it works with your skin and it's delivered the results you want, fantastic. I'd keep it personally. Just maybe every third night instead. Let's have a look. So Jessica says, I've been using Pixie Glow Tonic, then my Nip Fab Salicylic Acid 2% on my congested pores. Been doing this for a month, still got congested pores. Are there any other tips and tricks to get rid of them? First of all, I say be patient. I think salicylic acid can take like 3 months to really decongest the pores. So I would be a little bit forgiving and maybe give it a little bit longer to work. Have you noticed, I guess I'd say, have you noticed the difference? It doesn't have to have gone. Don't expect it to have gone, but has it improved? Because clearly that's the right combination for you. You could try a salicylic acid mask instead, a couple of times a week. Instead of using that, use the mask. It's on contact with the skin for a little bit longer, will give a little bit more of a deeper exfoliation. And if you then wash it off use like a muslin cloth, like we said, to wash it off, that will just like take away the extra and like a little bit extra, make it work a little bit harder for you. That would be my recommendation. Tom says, can you try and convince the girl that gave up her IG account to start up again? Oh, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, oh, heartbreaking. I am trying to. I think her confidence has been shook, and I think it's a case of if you work for like 6 or 9 months to really get somewhere and then you don't, it's quite hard to win it back. I said to her, if you don't feel like doing, my recommendation was, if you don't feel like doing IG again, get on YouTube and do it. Just change it up a bit so you don't feel like you're repeating and going through all the processes again. Try it on YouTube and try something different. I'm definitely encouraging it because I think everyone should have a dream and we should all follow our dreams, and not let any nasty ass company get in the way. So I am encouraging that, Tom, and I will be the first to shout out her channel or Instagram handle, and we can all follow her and support, because I do think everybody should have a dream, and I would love to encourage her. I don't think we're quite there yet, but you know what? She's got my full support, and whatever happens, I'm there to give help and advice and just be a supportive friend and ear. So yeah, definitely will be encouraging though. Don't you worry. Let's have a look. Chelsea says, what are your thoughts on prebiotics in skincare? I quite like prebiotics. I don't think they're essential. I will definitely not overpay for them. If they're in a product, great. If they're not, I won't worry too much about it. The skin barrier will be healthy enough with the other things that you're using. I don't think you necessarily need a prebiotic, but that's just personal question. I certainly wouldn't avoid it in skincare. I just think we pay extra for it, and I don't think it's worth it. If you haven't already, we're going to keep going, and where we have in the comments, Yeah, cut and paste it into the comments straight after the video, and I will get round to it. And I always answer all the comments, so I'll get round to it, I promise. I'm just way behind because I talk too much, but I'm going to keep going. So if I just don't get round to you, I've missed your question for any reason, drop it in the comments below and I'll definitely get back to you. I'll just have a sip of my tea. We are so close to getting 100 likes, which will be the first time ever that we've hit 100 likes on a live stream, which is amazing. They just go from strength to strength. So if you haven't hit that like button, please, please, please do. Just, help me live a fantasy. Thank you. Now, let's keep on going with some of these questions. Jenny says, great idea who are here for the podcast. I do. I will be encouraging her every step of the way. Don't you worry, Jenny and Tom, I promise. Jessica says, hi, Rob. I hope you're well. I'm fabulous, love. Thank you. Really excited for your products to come out. The serum sounds amazing. Just have one serum in the morning is a game changer. Thank you so much, Anne. I did kind of want to do that. I'm not always one to just have one serum. I like to mix and match, but I wanted to cater for those people that do want to slap and go. Put the product on, walk out that door, because people have busy lives, and maybe not in lockdown, but most people have busy lives. So I want to do a bit of part of that. So definitely, and I can't wait to show you it. I hopefully be able to do like a mock-up of some of the products and share them with you in like the next month, so you can see the packaging. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Tracy, hello Tracy, I'm so glad you could join. So nice to see you. Would you be able to dare to make a video on the best fragrance skincare products? Shall we? Go on then, shall we? We'll troll certain YouTubers I know hate it. Now, I happen to really like fragrance and skincare. I appreciate that it's not always like everyone's take, but I really like it. So I think I'll be open for doing that. Should we we'll troll them, Tracy. I think as long as you stick to it in your cleanser and your moisturizer, I think fragrance is fine. I wouldn't necessarily include it in too many serums because I think it might be overload, and also that all the fragrances contraindicate with each other and could end up smelling like a whole hot mess. But yeah, a fragranced skincare video, I would happily do that, and I know I'd be hated. I'm up for that. I dare, Tracy. Don't you worry. Samantha says, thoughts on Cosrx oil-free moisturizer with birch sap. I really like it. I like Cosrx. I like their moisturizer. I find it quite difficult to get here in the UK, and whilst it's really good, I don't think it's the most hydrating. I stick with the Blythe Press serum personally, but it's personal preference. It's very lightweight, works well in summer, and yeah, I think it's quite a good product, and it's not too badly priced either. Christy says, send lots of love from LA. Hey everyone, happy Saturday, my love. Let's have a look. Stefano says, hi Rob, besides face skincare, what do you think we should be paying attention to in order to improve our beauty routine? I recently become more interested in body and hair care. I would pay lots of attention to the hair, because what you put on here kind of touches face, particularly if you have long hair. So a lot of people say they often get zits here, they might get zits here. Often it's because what we put on our hair is touching our face. So I'd say pay as much attention to what you're putting on your hair and your hair care products than what you're putting on your face, because that way you're kind of you're making sure that it's all connected basically. And I think you'd be wasting your money if you put Jessica says, I really want to get the Neon Eye Serum, but it's been out of stock for ages. Can you recommend something else, or should I wait? I would wait. I would honestly wait. I think there's so few eye creams and serums that are actually worth forking your money out for and waiting for, so I would stick to just using moisturizer. The caffeine solution by The Ordinary is a great option. Put that under the eye. It's cheap, it's cheerful, does a really good job. Wait for the Neod fractionated eye contour concentrate. I happen to know it's been restocked they have a restock planned for the 14th of February. I remember this because it's Valentine's Day. So, oh, how romantic. Gift to myself, guaranteed. So you don't have to wait too long. They might restock beforehand, but I do know the restock is happening on the 14th of February. So, because I asked about it and was like, yeah, I need this. I'm literally eking out the last bit in my bottle, so I definitely need it. Let's have a look. Chrissy says, will you be shipping your skincare line to the US? I am. I'm going to be using a drop ship company in the US, so they'll be handling it before I send the product over and they do the shipping. So hopefully it'll speed things up a little bit and get around some of the issues with customs and getting through things. But yeah, definitely be launching in the US. That is very much the plan, and I can't wait for everybody to try it. And thank you everyone for so much love on that video. It's been lovely. If you get a chance, I wanted to get the message. I never ask people to share videos because I think, it's a bit corny. You can grow otherwise. Who's buying? If you get a chance to share on whatever social media, the video we did calling out Keep Cool and Soothe for their ridiculously bad behaviour, if you could share that video on whatever social media you have, it's the only time I'm going to ask you to do that. It's just because I think I hate bullying. I hate bullying more than anything because I see how it literally destroys people's lives. I've been so fortunate to not actually ever be, a victim of bullying, or that I can remember. Maybe a bit of name calling here and there, but nothing that's really stuck with me. But I know so many people have had their lives and confidence torn apart by bullying, and it's just not acceptable in any way, shape, and it's not okay. So if you get the opportunity to share that specific video, that's the only time I will ever ask you to share a video, because I do think it's got an important message that we should get out there, that nobody can take away your dreams, no company should ever be able to take away your dreams, and shame on them for doing that. And it's shadier. It's shady behaviour. I did just want to call that out. So hopefully, if you get the opportunity to share it, I'll share the message, even if you don't share the video. That'd be great. Let's have a look. Mario says, now that's cool. That's so cool. Sunscreen is drama now, though. I'm thankful because we started watching your videos with the Puritas one. Oh, thank you for joining. We will be getting more testing, and I'm hoping it's going to be positive. We all love the drama and the scandal of it not living up to the hype, but I'd be really happy if on the 29th of this month, the sunscreens which are tested come out and say, yeah, they're all really good, because I love my Korean sunscreens. I love the way they feel. I want to just allay some of those doubts, especially about that one, which is the Make Prem, which is there. I love that product, and I just really want it to work out. So hopefully that's one of the ones. And Keep Cool are going to be tested, and we'll see. We'll see. I just always think if you're going to call people out, you better have your receipts, because if you're going to call people out and threaten them, better have your receipts, and you better be living up to your own hype. Otherwise, people are going to come for you and read you to filth. So we shall see. We shall see. But there's plenty. I suspect there'll be plenty more drama to go. Let's have a look. Hello from Myanmar. Sending lots and lots of love to Myanmar. Diana says, what vitamin C can I use with the NIOD CAIS? As always, thank you. You can use derivatives, probably would be best. You can use it alongside a normal, but I think you're paying so much for it, I'd use a derivative just to be on the safe side. So I go for the strongest of the derivatives, which is the ordinary ascorbyl tetroisopalmitate, 20% in vitamin F. Strongest one, you'll get the best results. I'm going to take a few more questions. I'm going to take the last sip of my tea. It's gone completely cold, but I'm going to keep going. If you haven't already, if you could smash that like button, I would love you all. So let's keep going. I think we're at 89 likes. We're nearly at 100. This is the most we've ever got on a video. So I'm so grateful. If we get 100, I'll cheer. If not, do you know what? There's always next week. Same time, 6 p.m. Saturday here at UK time. Now let's keep on going. We have hello from the Island of Smiles. I love the idea that an island would call themselves the Island of Smiles, so I'm sending lots and lots of love. And there's a flag, and I'm not good with flags. You'll have to tell me what it is. I can't. I'm not good with country flags, but I'm sending lots and lots and lots of love. What do you think of the core? I'm not one of these people that has to have organic skincare. I like it, but I don't need it. It's not one of the things I look for, but that is a particularly great brand, fully ethical, gorgeous products, and the turmeric mask really will give a really nice brightening and lightening to the skin. So yeah, I think it works really well to just help even everything out and give you that gorgeous, even complexion. So I'd fully recommend it. And what do you hi, I love the channel, I love the content. Thank you so much, my love. Any advice on, I use tretinoin, can I use other tyrosine inhibitors on top? You can. Be a little bit careful. I wouldn't introduce them at the same time because it could be a little bit too much, but something like alpha-arbutin or tranexamic acid you can use alongside it. Just use your retinol, your tret first, let it get into the, let it start doing its work, maybe 2 months, and then you can introduce anything on top and it'll work really well with it. But great question. Nikita says, thank you for my message today. It's a pleasure, my love. I wish you every success with your new videos, because I know how nerve-wracking it is to start this. It is so nerve-wracking, and you honestly, I was a bundle of nerves, but you kind of got to fight back. And this is why I kept all my videos on this channel, even the really ratchet ones. If you want to laugh, look at my first videos, and I'm proud of that first video because I was a nervous wreck. It was so bad, but I don't care, because I think we all have to start somewhere, and I want to keep them up, because I don't think you realize how far you've come until you look back on where you started. And life's a journey, so congratulations, love. I fully behind you every step of the way, and I wish you every bit of success. Let's have a look. Mention a few good hydrating toners for dry skin. I love the spray in my face right after the shower, but need options. Ooh, a few good hydrating toners. I would go for, my favourite is the Geek and Gorgeous liquid hydration. You can actually put it in a spray bottle and spritz it if you want. It translates really well into a spray. Simple do a really good one that I don't mind. I love the Mist by NIOD, but it's always out of stock. Sometimes just, do you know what? Plain water. Just put some water, you filter it if you bougie, get a Brita filter, pour that in a mist. and just spray it on the skin. It works so well, and you can even put a few drops of your favorite facial oil, really shaky because it needs to actually mix together. Spritz it on. To be honest, it's a really cheap way of doing it, and they can work really well. It's all about just getting the hydration before you then put other products on, because if you start with dry skin, you're starting from a, like, everything just goes on better on dry skin. Even if it's just a spray of pure water, it can work really well. May says, I wishing you a very happy weekend, and lots of love from a freaking cold Oslo. We have hit 100 likes on this video for the first time ever, so thank you so much, everyone. I do really appreciate it. I love all your support, and I just thank you so much. We have now reached the hour. I'm gonna start. So I've got something in the oven, so I actually do have to finish because everything will be done. But next week I am gonna stretch it to an hour and like 15-20, because we get so many questions and I want to answer all your questions, but they're getting busier and busier every single week, and so it can be really hard to actually get to everyone's questions. So I'm going to extend the time of them a little bit next week, so we're not in a rush and we can talk for as long as needed. If I didn't get around to answering your question, I am so sorry, but leave it in the comments below and I definitely promise I'll get back to you. So just cut and paste it, drop it in the comments box below, and I'll get back to you either this evening or tomorrow. If you haven't already, smash that like button. If you do, I would love you forever, and it really helps the channel. Thank you so much for everyone that's made this one of the best lives ever. Join us tomorrow, next week, 6 p.m. UK time, every Saturday for our next week's live. And coming up this week, we've got some really great content, so hopefully you'll join us for all those videos. Share the video about exposing Keep Cool and Soothe if you get the opportunity, because that'd be fantastic. Don't forget to pick up your ordinary concealer if you want to buy one on Tuesday, because trust me, they'll sell out. They always do. They'll sell out in the first hour, so grab your shade if you want to. And wherever you are in the world, guys, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Take care. Bye.